Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, your main proprietor of the Tenkars-Tavern blog. Can't even say it today. So, why do I have the 2E Player's Handbook on screen? Well, it occurred to me that our current campaign with Joe the Lawyer as our DM is a 2E game by the book. If you have a very loose definition of what by the book means, because it's 20 pages of house rules, it keeps growing, and uh, there are no clerics technically. What does that mean? I mean, everybody's a priest. If you want to play a cleric, you're really playing a priest, and you can't use any of the splat books. So, but you can use the Demi-Human Deities book, which I never even owned back in the day, as far as I can recall. It was a new one for me. So our group, our core group, is, believe it or not, three priests. Now, when I ran 2E, when I ran 1E, I could never get anybody to play a cleric. Nobody wanted to be a druid. Uh, the party was, when you GM'd the party, you had to take into account that healing was going to be mm, short, to say the least. But that was okay because it forced my players to really think smart, and they had to avoid a lot of unnecessary combat, and they had to think out of the box. And it was when we had a large group of I don't know, 6 to 10 players, yeah, we had a cleric in the group. But when we had our core group of 3 to 4, yeah, a henchman, that was it. Well, Joe's group has three priests. We have a druid, that's Rob Conley. I'm not quite sure what specialty type of priest Greg Christopher was running, but I know he has access to a charm person spell. He uses that greatly to his advantage. He often is surrounded by an entourage, and I am a gnome and a priest of girl glitter glittering glitter glitter, not glitter dung. I can't remember right now, but gall glitter, blah, 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 blah. And gives me access to illusionist spells and some poetry thieving abilities. But in 2E, that's not bad because you can specialize in one or two skills, even though you're only getting a couple handful of points per level. You can actually become fairly effective in whatever it is that you focus on doing. But with the access to illusionist spells, I can certainly uh, become a bit more flexible than a regular cleric or priest would be. So we have found that there's a lot of synergy between the group and these three priests. Tim Schwartz is running a Magic User Thief, and I think we've got Vance is a fighter now. We you know what? For a while we had no frontline fighters, and Joe would plan out the game, the session, the encounters with the idea that we were going to take things on heads on, that we were going to take things on immediately. And instead, we are a very cautious group. Maybe too cautious at times, but we are a very cautious game group and we plan. And we have a lot of synergy between these three divine spellcasting character types. And we've learned to work well off each other. But not only that, there's no shortage of healing. You have three priests. All of them, I believe, now are 7th level. So there is no lack of healing, especially since Joe allows us to swap in healing spells for a memorized spell. Otherwise, we'd often be just like a heal bot, which is nice. But at the end of a game day, uh, we do a lot of party healing, and it works well. But I never experienced this back in my 2E days. My experience with 1E and 2E is that nobody wanted to play the cleric. Nobody wanted to play the healer because you were essentially a heal bot and you didn't have much in the way of offensive powers. Sure, you got hold person at 3rd level, but it wasn't. You weren't as good a fighter as a fighter. You certainly weren't as good a caster as the magic user, and unless your group was fighting a lot of undead, you were often not needed except for your healing abilities. And this has been a great change. I like the change. I've always liked clerics personally. Never played a lot back in the 1E and 2E games. I mostly GM'd. D&D was my sphere when it came to GMing. But you know, these days I often play a cleric, a priest, divine caster, whatever. I find that they're very flexible, and there's a lot you can do with class if you just think a little bit out of the box. So, what is your experience with D&D, AD&D, OSR rule sets, and clerics and priests? Are they just heal bots? Have you taken them beyond that? Is it something that is in the gaming culture that nobody wants to be a cleric? Because I mean, I've been in groups, New York, Pennsylvania, even in I don't know gaming conventions. It seems the cleric often gets chosen last, and I often look for the cleric because I figure I can make that class more than people expect. But let me know what you think. Give me your thoughts on this. Give me your input because I'd like to. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe other people do enjoy playing clerics. I just haven't seen much of it. Folks, on that note, this week I'm probably going to do like a midday, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock live stream. Haven't decided what day yet. I'll try to announce it a day or so beforehand. This is mostly for my viewers, listeners from the other side of the pond or the other side of the world who the live streams are often inconvenient for them to get to if they want to be able to interact live with the show. This will be an opportunity. I'll try to make it more or less a regular feature. So, on that note, tell me what you think about clerics and priests and other healer types in your games, especially D&D, OGL, OSR style games, and maybe we'll do a follow up. Be safe, be well, God bless, roll this dice, roll them well. By the way, there's a shit ton of RPG bundles on Humble Bundle, tenkars-tavern.games /humble. Portion of your purchases will go to support this channel. All right, folks. On that note, I'll catch you all later. Be good.